Hello. So my name is Diane Beck, and I'm going to take you through a few ways that I personally like to set new goals and get really clear. Because I think there's a lot of pressure on goal setting. I mean, this is New Year's Eve, and I've been doing this process today, and this is what I tend to do this time of year, is take myself somewhere where I can lift my energy, and then I start to create my goals. And I know that there is a lot of pressure out there for people to kind of get really busy this time of year, setting intentions, setting goals, and then feeling really guilty and feeling awful about things afterwards if they haven't achieved things. And that isn't helpful to anybody. I wanted to share with you what I do and calmly get really very clear about my life. And I'll take you through it. It's really simple. What I would recommend that you do, first of all, and I hope at some point I'm going to include, if I can work out how to do it, a little diagram so I can literally show you, maybe on my iPad, I can insert it, to show you how I do it. But essentially, I want you to draw a circle and just look at your life like a wheel for a moment. I want you to think about your life, including 7 major areas. So when I look at what it is that I created today for myself, which is really, for me, very, very, very useful as always, and very profound for me, because it really gave me a lot of insight and allowed me to kind of look over the last year and notice where, my gosh, what I've done, and how proud I am actually of this last year. And it did feel quite tough at the beginning of the year, and then as things went on, a lot happened for me because I put a lot of work into 2024 to things. So how I would love for you to do it is to draw a circle that represents your wheel of life. This is not a new concept, but it's very, very useful. And how I personally use it and how I instruct my clients to use it is what I want to share with you today, because I just think it's really effective. Draw 7 pies. So it's not that easy. You can't just draw, 3 lines and create as easy 6 pies. You want to create 7 pies as evenly as you can, right? It's not essential that it has to be super, super specific. This is just for you. And I'm going to go through what each of those pies should contain. So there's one for career, one for family, one for health and fitness, one for friendships and connections, another one for spirituality, your personal growth and development, like things you want to learn and improve upon, and your relationships. Okay, so you have these 7 very important life areas, and these life areas will share the very core essence of who you are. So right in the very center, I also draw a little central dot, which later I'll meditate upon. That is the I am. That is your core belief in your life at the moment, which is kind of underpinning. If you think of it like a big cone, and this core belief is underpinning all of the areas of your life which you take yourself into, because you take yourself everywhere with you. But it's nice to kind of look at each of the areas separately so you can get a handle on where you want to put your intentions and what kind of goals you might want to set. And I don't need to kind of feel pressured about the word goals, intentions, but we're going to get really clear about it and keep it simple. Keep it simple for now. You want to get a really nice feel into what it is that you want. And this is a really simple way to do it. That's why I just wanted to share it. In each of those pies, you're going to draw a line which represents into that pie how satisfied you are in that area of your life. So don't do this when you're in a bad mood. Try and do this when you're feeling nice and neutral, so that it's not really, not even heightened, so you're not getting a disproportionate idea. No, something nice and fair and neutral. And just think, okay, my life right now, how satisfied am I with the area of my life that is career? So I put 7 for me. So I drew a line that represented 7. I shaded it in. And that means, that 70% satisfied, but 30% I'm not satisfied. And we want to get a real idea about what each of those parts contain. We'll go into that in a bit more depth, but you go round all of those life areas and you do the same thing. So, family area of my life, I put 7, my health and fitness, I put 6, and I kind of go round and you see that you've got all these different areas of your life, and the ones which you're not very satisfied about are typically, of course, the areas of your life that when you're fully in those areas of life, you feel like you're taking a bit of a bump, a bit of a hit. It's like if it is a wheel, it takes a bit of a bump because it's not as filled out and full. So, there are areas of my chart which I absolutely know I'm setting big intentions for in 2024. And this is the reason why it's really important to do this. Back in the day when I would have many clients, I had an office which was quite close to the city in London, and I would get a lot of clients who would really just want to talk about one of two things, either career or relationship, or their health occasionally. And there are all these other life areas. And so over time, I would try and get them to really understand how to create balance and to look at all the different life areas so that you're not putting all of your eggs in one basket and all of the energy flows into that one life area, leaving you imbalanced and feeling a bit stressed when other life areas come up. And there are ways to do this. So as you now will hopefully have all your life areas filled in, and you've got I've got 7 for my career and 7 for family, and I've got 6 for health and fitness, and all these different life areas have got numbers and shadings. I now want you to write why. Write why, for example, I wrote, why it's a 7. So why is it a 7? Why is it not a 6? Why 7? And really feel into that and write a big reason why. Be very clear about why it's a 7, and think about what's good about it. Don't criticize just it. Or the 7 is why it's full of 7. What is it full of? What are all the positives? Why is it full of that number? What is good about that life area that satisfies you? It might only be 70% satisfied like mine, but it is still the satisfaction there. Then I want you to write, what I would recommend you write is the 30%. For example, my 30%, I was then thinking why I'm not satisfied and what is it that I want to improve upon. And that starts to help you get really clear about your intentions in that life area. And slowly, as you're working round, because of course, a lot of them are very clearly linked, like health and fitness and career can be very linked. If you're feeling like you have strength and clarity and positivity, then you're going to be more focused in your career and all of those things. So you'll start to see where your intentions go. And slowly you're starting to bring more clarity into the goals you can set. And the goals into each life area, or the intentions to improve, are very clear because you're isolating just that life area. Because a lot of times, and I do these exercises with clients to really go into the unconscious mind and to invite in the higher self and to invite in your spirit guides, all of those things to kind of add to what is it that I'm going to be bringing in, and what can I get a real handle on in terms of what my goals could be and what I can achieve. Not just what my thinking mind thinks, but all aspects that I have access to. They're big things to do. And I think the pressure of entering a new year is kind of heavy enough. Sometimes it's quite nice to just sit with this exercise and just go through it to get a real grounding, just a nice subtle grounding to your goal setting. Nothing too ambitious yet. I mean, you're already getting an idea of your intentions, and you're getting a really clear idea of very specific things you can do that will immediately improve your life in 7 areas. You're going to get a really clear idea of what you do want as you're heading into 2024, because I know that I did, and like suddenly loads and loads of things and to-do lists came up, and I started to get excited, and that's what you want. You start getting excited about the future, because our motivation is emotional, and we want to get motivated towards achieving these goals, and we won't be motivated if there isn't the petrol of emotion behind it. I like an emotion to petrol behind everything. You're not going to do anything without the petrol, from like raising your eyebrows to buying something to doing something. It's got to have the energy in motion, the emotion behind it to project you into that and to motivate you forwards. So because it's sat on top of satisfaction, you're not being hard on yourself. You're looking at how you can get more and improve it. It's sponsored by very positive energy, and it can start to get you very excited towards improvement. It's a very positive way of looking at it. I want you to keep it positive, so that you stack positive emotions at the front end. So you're stacking in front of you positive towards motivational feelings that will generate towards motivated energy. I hope that is helpful, and I hope that gives you some idea of how I would recommend you do this exercise. Like I say, I'm going to try and kind of superimpose on top of this video what I did. If not, it's pretty straightforward. Draw a circle, create 7 pies, feel into where your year is at, and you can obviously periodically keep doing this to see how you're improving, but this is going to start to help you set some goals. The other thing, there's many things that I do. I've run whole retreats on goal setting and the alchemy that is working with energy and polarity and goals, and we can go on and on and on. And though it can get overwhelming, and I don't want it to get overwhelming, it is a time of year when you're transitioning out of one into the new, and 2025 looks like it's going to be a very, very interesting year. I would say stay grounded. I'm going to be producing as much content as possible to really help not just the people that work with me, my clients, but for you publicly as a service, because I feel like I want to help people ground and also deeply connect within, which is kind of my sweet spot, really. So I really want to help you and take you further in. You may have noticed there's a couple more meditations coming on like all the time. Meditations to take you deeper into the heart space, deeper into meet your higher self, all of these big journeys which you can take within, which I take clients on. So I really want to help you feel grounded and deeply connected. So this is a nice grounded way of setting your goals. But something to say on that, which is important, because I have touched on it about the excitement and the energy and the emotion forwards, is that your goals should be for you. They should deeply lift your heart. So do check in on that they aren't for anybody else. It seems kind of obvious, but you'd be surprised the influence or wanting to please others or fit in or do something which, would look a certain way. I don't want you to do that. I'm not going to encourage anybody to do that. It is what's going to lift your heart, what's going to be in alignment with your soul. And spending some time really getting to know yourself, because you don't really know what you want till you know really who you are and get aligned with your true values and what's deeply important to yourself. So when I talked earlier about that dot in the center of that little circle of life, that wheel of life, I want you to think about what your deepest belief about yourself is. Some people may be identifying with a negative belief currently at the moment, which is normal and totally solvable, by the way, although it is responsible for a lot of pain and a lot of surface level issues. These seemingly deep level identity beliefs, they do create your reality, and though they are very, I will say, easy to change, spent since 2009 helping people change those. So don't feel overwhelmed. Again, if you've got a bit of a negative belief going on at the moment, take heart. You can change it. They aren't permanent if you don't want them to be. But underneath that belief is the core of you, and the core of you is always positive, and it is always extremely extraordinary and positive. And if you can really sink into that and touch that, and I might create something for you to help you do that, but if you can sink into that, really notice what the core essence of you is, what's really going to bring you out in 2025 more in alignment with the truth of who you are, rather than what is expected of you, rather than what you think will fit in. I think this is going to be a real time now, as things get crazier outside, to really know how to go within and to set your roots and feel very secure in yourself and know exactly what it is that you want for you and why and what that will bring and what service you can bring to the planet, to this construct, because you're being yourself. You're not trying to be somebody else. So more of that, and feeling into your goals and looking at your life and questioning it and looking at that core belief about yourself, and then thinking, what really will lift my heart? And start to think about, when you've done that, it will bring up a lot of sort of means goals, of more immediate goals, typically. And start to think about, if your life is in alignment with who you truly are at the core level, how is it in alignment with what feels like is a destiny goal for you? With what feels like is something that you can leave the planet with, you can bring fully yourself into that achievement and that gift to everybody else in service. And what would that be? Is it in alignment with that? Is this big umbrella and the arc of trajectory towards that destiny achievement? All of these are the goals that you're setting in all life areas, should therefore kind of come in underneath that kind of arc of trajectory. Like, does it kind of push you forwards towards achieving that? And that is usually something that can really lift your heart, and really go there with that. I think, if I really was in alignment with myself and I couldn't fail, and I could do really whatever it is that I feel I should be doing, and if money wasn't an issue, finances weren't an issue, and I could already be doing that thing, and through doing that thing, which feels very in alignment with me, I would have every day in bliss. What kind of things would I be doing? What kind of conversations would I be having myself? What kind of people am I surrounded by? How does it feel within me? What is the kind of dialogue I'm having with myself? How do I feel when I'm being that person? And then where am I in relation to that? Which helps you with your personal growth and development goals. What is it that I'm going to start to learn? What is it that I really want to understand more about? I've got some goals from doing that today, and and places that I really want to go and visit. My gosh, I really want to go to Egypt. I've never been to Egypt. I haven't been to Egypt yet, and I really want to go. I'm fascinated by it, and do some meditations there. So this is on my 2025 goals, from doing the exercise and really feeling into really what is in alignment with me, what's calling me out this next 12 months. So you can obviously start to get an idea of that and start to dream and get excited, and notice, where is life wanting to take you? Where is your intuition, your inner knowing you should be going, versus the thinking mind? The thinking mind is a judgment filter, and the unconscious mind deeply forensically knows you, and the soul of you understands what your path is and your alignment really is. So allowing the thinking mind to quiet and just kind of like imagine it's like a little paper boat on a lake, and just push it away a little, for a while, and really feel into what your inner knowing is telling you, because they're often in conflict and having different conversations. Just notice what comes up and have fun with it. And I hope that was helpful. And like I say, I'm going to create some more meditations that will really help you reconnect with your higher self and your unconscious mind. And that is certainly like one of my goals, is to show up more for everybody in service, not just the clients that I work with, but a wider audience of people. And so be it, and I will see more of you as 2025 unfolds, and help you get more grounded and really help you really find who you really are, so that you can activate your real power. So that's a huge conversation to be had, and something that really excites me, and ways that I can help you do that. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of you, and have an incredible start to this new year, and have an amazing 2025. Take stock of your last year and take all the wisdom fully into the next 12 months, and I'll see you on the other side.